Hey guys, my name is Jason with non-Baker Mining and Metals, and on today's video I'm going to be doing something I've never ever done before. I'm going to be sniping for gold, platinum, and chrome. We're here in Western Washington, and today I've been inspired by Pioneer Polly, another YouTuber. He does a lot of sniping up in Canada and finds some really good gold. So I thought I'd give it a try. So I came out here to one of the local creeks. This is kind of a special spot because at the headwaters of this creek, way up about 10 miles from here, there's this huge, massive body of ultramafic rock called dunite. And the dunite not only may have some precious metals associated with it, but it's one of the primary minerals you look for and associated with chrome and PGMs, so platinum group metals. And so today I've come out to this creek. We're gonna snipe down some of these bedrock cracks here we have, move some of these big boulders if we can. We're gonna try and find gold, maybe some platinum nuggets if I'm really, really lucky. And we're also gonna look for dunite with a bunch of chrome in it. But the first thing I gotta do is get my wetsuit on. I haven't been in my wetsuit in probably 10 years, so let's see how this adventure goes. Well, I got my bottoms on, and that was a workout in itself, let me tell you. That was a chore. Well, I've got this new GoPro Hero 11 or whatever it's called. I'm gonna give it a shot. The reason why I'm going with the GoPro is it's waterproof, so I can get a lot of my shots underwater with this thing. So we'll give it a try and see how it goes. Well, here is the kind of stuff we're looking at. I really like this spot because the foliation of the rock is perpendicular to the flow of the river, right? And so you're gonna get a lot of deep cracks that go perpendicular, and so that gold's gonna come along the bedrock and bloop, fall right into a crack. Here's a good spot right here. There's a long, deep crack. There's a big boulder, another big boulder. So this would be a candidate. We're gonna work along here. If you look over here, I've heard people having some pretty good luck in potholes. Like this one right here, there's some boulders in there. There's another pothole there that we might get cleaned out, see what we can find. There's a big crack right here. But you can see I've got a whole creek to work. Bedrock on both sides. There's a bunch of bedrock there, a bunch of bedrock poking up out of the creek. I have found gold in this creek. I found a couple really nice pieces up to 2 grams in the past, long time ago. I'm cautiously optimistic that I can find some gold here today. These are some of the tools I'm going to be using. I've got a little rock hammer thing, a pair of needle nose pliers that are bent, a screwdriver is always nice, some pliers, chisel, a little bar. Yeah, I know I should have brought a real crowbar, but I couldn't find mine this morning. So the first thing is we got to get in the water. I'm gonna go work that crack right over there. Oh, this wetsuit is so hard to move in. Well, my first step is getting the overburden off, and I really wish I had some gloves. I can tell you that in the first couple minutes. But that's okay. I think between my tools and just kind of swooshing it with the water, I can get a lot of these rocks cleared out of here. But what we want to do is get right down to the very bottom of that crack. The gold is going to go all the way down to the bottom, and as I fan away the overburden and the rocks, hopefully we'll see some gold show up in this crack. I got down to a layer. I've been washing the gravel's out of the way, and they've been clean, right? There's not a lot of muck in them. There's not a lot of silt and fines. And I've got down to a layer where the last flood has been, and it's all silty and compact, and it's a little bit clayey. I'll show you here what I'm talking about. And that is the layer in the past where one I found gold on top of, but once you get under that layer on the bedrock, that's where you're gonna find some real good gold. So let's go take a look. Grabbed a tiger by the tail here. I can't really tell which rock it is. That one right there. This guy right here. a monster. It was sitting right in our crack. So I moved it out of our crack. We're gonna try and get it cleaned out now. See if there's any gold. But for those of you who've never done this before, rocks underwater weigh about 1/3 to 1/2 what they do in the air, because the water density buoys them up a little bit. And so this rock may weigh 400 pounds, but as long as I kept it underwater, I worked it its way out of the cracks. Alright guys, a little change of strategy. I've been working that crack quite a bit. I haven't found any gold, and I'm into a spot where the water is really slowed down and it's just murky, and I'm spending most of my time waiting for the water to clear. So I'm going to try and move out into a little faster water, see if I'm going to find some real pronounced bedrock cracks, hopefully exposed. I don't want to just move a bunch of rock all day. So that's my goal now. Right behind this big boulder, kind of right in this stretch right here where it's real fast, I'll show you there's a bunch of big rocks sitting right on bedrock, so I can roll those out of the way pretty easy, and then we'll see if we can snipe some of those cracks if we can find any. I'll tell you this, it's just a lot of hard work. It may look fun, and it is, but man, you gotta want it. You gotta work hard for it. I just cleaned out a big huge pothole down here, kind of right in this fast water. Let me see if I can show you here underwater. It's kind of filled in a little bit more with the stuff that's washed down. So I'm gonna work my way up the stream here a little bit and see if I can find a little bit more exposed cracks so I'm not moving so much rock. I've been up and down the river. I've been working this little pothole right here. I found my first little piece of gold. So let me see if I can get it on camera. We sucked it up in the snuffer bottle. Hopefully I got it. Yeah, there it is. Well, it looks like I accidentally got two. I saw one and sucked it up and got two of them there. So that's my take for today so far. But my strategy is don't give up. So I'm going to keep going. I might be getting a little bit too aggressive, the fanning on my hand. I'm looking for big nuggets, and I might be blowing out a bunch of the small stuff. So let me get back in there and see if I can find some more. Alright guys, well, I'm on my final hole. I'm worn out, I'm tired, I haven't found any gold, but I wanted to give you a little bit of an update here. I'm at the bottom of my last hole, and if there's no gold in here, I don't think there's any gold in this river at all. I worked down this crack, didn't find anything. Right now I'm working down this crack, and I worked my way across this way. I'm at the very bottom of the hole. There were a couple of cracks down here that I dug out. There's one right along there that I dug out, didn't find anything. I've kind of got this last little bit of a spot at the bottom where it kind of comes down this way. There's the bottom of the hole. There's my last little bit. I'm gonna see if there's any gold in the bottom there. There's a nice little crack right along here. Right along there I'm gonna dig out. But I've got bedrock. I've got bedrock all the way around the edge. This is the very bottom of the hole. It's like a little bit of a pothole in the bottom of a crack. So let's see if we can get in there. Well, nothing. I'm so disappointed. I thought for sure I'd at least find some gold for you guys today. All we got were those two little tiny flakes. I can't believe it. If there was gold in this river, it would have been in that crack, right? I mean, it was a deep perpendicular crack. It had a bottom to it and sides, so it was a big bowl. The gold should have been right in the bottom of that thing. I don't know why there wasn't any gold in there. And I am wiped out. I've worked all day, and I guess you could say a little bit of gold is better than no gold. So let me get cleaned up. I want to get out of this wetsuit, get warmed up a little bit, and then we'll go look for some dunite and some chrome. With great effort, I ended up getting dressed again and drying off. I'm shivering, but I'm starting to warm up a little bit. And that concludes my sniping adventure today. And just maybe another YouTuber out there will invite me up to their place so they can show me how to snipe and we can get some real gold. But now let's go take a look at some dunite, and I'll talk about where it comes from and where the chrome is in it. Well, I wanted to talk a little bit about dunite. It's a real orange color when it oxidizes, and that's because it's about 90% olivine. Now the cool thing about dunite is it's a fairly rare rock to find on the surface. This is the piece of the mantle of the planet, and it originates about 100 miles or 160 kilometers down underneath the surface of the earth. And so it's again fairly rare to have it on the surface, but we have one of the largest single deposits of dunite in the Western Hemisphere here in Western Washington. And this creek drains down on one half of this deposit. So we have a lot of dunite boulders in the creek. But let's go along. I want to show you what happens when you break them open, and the color inside really changes dramatically. Now here's a great example. I just broke this one open. It has the nice orange dun color on the outside when it's oxidized, but a nice fresh face is nice green, bright green color. This is a little bit darker color, but if you look, there's little black flecks in there, and those little black flecks are chromite. And so this rock, like I said, is over 90% olivine, so it's an ultramafic rock, and this particular deposit is pretty much 100% olivine, 99% olivine, with little bits of chrome in it. And so if you can find a rock or places on the deposit, there's places where it's fractionally crystallized, and you'll have these big bands of chromite within the dunite itself. And that's because as the ore body or magma body was cooling, the chrome was denser and settled down and formed these bands in the rock. Let me see if I can find some and show you. Well, here's a couple more I found. This one has quite a few black specks of chrome in it, but it's not ore grade. This is an interesting one. It has little crystals in it that don't weather, so I'm not quite sure what those are. Maybe pyroxenes? I'm not sure. But it has a really nice green color once it's broke open, again with those black flecks. And then here's a couple pieces I found actually while I was sniping earlier. But you can see the black band of chrome in this one. This one's a little bit more distinct. But that's chromite. In the deposit, there's actually bands that are feet wide of pretty much solid chrome. And during World War II, a lot of interest was taken into the deposit for chrome to help support the war effort. But if you notice these two, they don't have the dun color, that orange color the other ones do. These I found underwater and they haven't oxidized yet. They've worn down, they have the green color on the surface, so there's absolutely no weathering rind. So stay tuned in a future video. I'm gonna take these home and slab them up in the rock saw. I've got these I'm gonna cut. I've got some listwanite I'm gonna cut that may have some gold in it. And then I've got some really, really nice golden quartz stuff from our gold mine that I'm gonna slab up. So stay tuned for that on a future video. All right guys, that does it for me today. Unfortunately, we didn't find very much, hardly any, very minuscule amount of gold, but sometimes you just don't find any gold. Stay tuned also for the rock cutting video coming up in the next couple weeks. And there's lots more gold mining videos to come. So don't miss out on those. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.